How's it, chaps? Welcome back to the Burton Builds garage. Today I'm going to show you guys how to install a valve on your rainwater harvesting tank. So today we are installing a 1.5-inch valve or a 50mm valve, although if you don't want to go this big, you can install a 25mm or a 1-inch valve. I wouldn't recommend going any smaller than that. So under normal circumstances, you would use a pipe nipple and you would screw that into the tank, and then you would screw your valve onto that, and then whatever else is going to feed off your tank goes after the valve. However, every setup is slightly different, and today, well, we're going to do something slightly different. So we're going to install this nipple into the tank, then we are going to install an elbow, basically on like that. Then we're going to install another nipple. I think I'm saying nipple too many times, yeah? Yeah. And then we're going to install the valve. And the valve will go on basically over there. So we'll end up with a sharp turn, and then our pipe will go out this way. Now this is specific to my setup that I've got here. So you guys just do or get, oh shit man, the water's coming out here all over my shoes. You just make your arrangement to whatever is going to suit your setup. So pretty simple. We're going to install all of this. Please remember to always use thread tape. I see a lot of people just screwing in these fittings. They are tapered and maybe they would seal, but always put on PTFE thread tape. So fairly simple. Just going to take the tape, wrap it around the fitting or the thread, and we'll give it one, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sort of turns. You could go maybe 7 or 8 or 1 turn less, doesn't really matter. And we're going to turn that in. However, if you've put the tape on one side, maybe just put the tape on the other side before you screw that in, and it might just be a little bit easier than doing it before. Doing it before rather than doing it after. So we'll do another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cool. And then this will go in here. Now, you guys might not have water coming out your tank. This tank was full. It's fairly empty, and basically what I'm doing now is getting it to a point where I can put bigger valves in it. So we've got the water that can transfer a whole lot quicker between the tanks. So this used to have a 25mm valve on. We're now going to a valve double the size. Cool. Now that's not all the way in. I've just tightened that by hand. Now we can take our elbow and we can pop that on and start screwing that in. Now these are plastic fittings, so just be careful you don't cross thread them or do anything silly there. But you don't need any special tools. You can just turn this on by hand, and because these are plastic fittings, hand tight is good enough. And especially if you use the PTFE tape, it will seal, and you'll never have problems with it. You will have problems, however, if you over tighten the fittings, and the plastic fittings can actually crack or split, and then you might have leaking. So I'm just hand tightening this. Now these are getting fairly tight here, so I've got to be careful, but maybe I'll go just one more turn. Just something, I don't know, something like that. Cool. And then we've got our valve and another pipe nipple that we can put on there. So we're going to do the same thing here. A little bit of PTFE tape again. Whoa, it's coming loose there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turns. I'll set it off, and we do 6 turns on the other side again. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be good. Snap that off. Cool, and we can pop that in. Start turning that in and it'll tighten up. A little bit of a side tip here. If you do have a big flow of water and you are trying to quickly put on a valve, open up the valve and then start putting the thread on. And as soon as you've got a few threads on, then close the valve. It's a lot easier doing it that way than if you've got water gushing out here and you're trying to turn this thing on with a closed valve and you've got the water fighting back against you. You don't always have to do that. That's not a normal circumstance, but I have had to do that on the odd occasion. So you can see, again, just turning it on by hand. No special tools needed. I do have a large shifting spanner here. That was actually to take the original stuff off, but we don't need it for this install. And basically we can turn it a couple more times. At the moment it's still leaking water here, so what I'm going to do is close it up because none of this will leak, and I'll give it another couple of twists. I reckon, yeah, we could probably go one more. There we go, something like that. And just like that, it's on, not over tightened, nothing's going to leak, and you should have years of trouble-free service. Whatever you're going to do on this side, I don't know. Normally you would put on maybe something like a compression adapter. So this takes 40mm pipe, HDPE pipe, and that you can screw on the end of the valve. We're not actually going to do that today though, because this is part of a bigger installation, so don't miss that. There's going to be a separate video on that, so make sure you go and check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. But today what we're going to do is take this 40mm adapter or 50mm adapter, I think. No, sorry, 40mm adapter, and we're going to adapt it down, and then we're going to put it back onto one of these press-on fittings, just so that I can temporarily connect it up to our tank setup until we do the full installation. But other than that, hopefully you guys found the video useful. Stick around for some of the other tank videos. There are already a couple of those out on the channel. If you want to check those out, I'll link them somewhere. So if you are interested in that, then go watch this video. I don't know where it is. It'll be somewhere on screen. Go watch that, and hopefully you learn something. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Cheers.